Hey guys, it's B. This week I'm going to talk to you about traveling while transitioning. More particularly, flying. Um, this great old holiday season, I had to fly back home and I realized how much I don't like flying and all of the little crap we have to deal with while we transition. And some tips to then think about to kind of help you get you on your way there. Tip number one, limit your fluids 4 hours before you leave the house to go to your flight. Um, the better you, or the less you drink, the better you're not going to need to go to the bathroom in the airport. Try to go to the bathroom, push it off to the last thing that you do, like load up your bags, go to the bathroom here at home. Then go to the airport. Try to avoid the bathrooms in general, just because there usually are not gender neutral bathrooms from what I've encountered in several American airports. And I'm also going to primarily talk to you about American travel and American flying specifically because I have yet to leave the country via airplane. But yes, many of the bathrooms there are gendered, and there are many different cultures mixing around in your bathroom. And I really needed to go when I was flying from SeaTac to Midway. And I got quite a bunch of looks because I didn't know. I'm like, and it's that constant, do I get beat up? Do I get yelled at? So I wasn't sure if I was passing well or not. I went into the women's bathroom. Apparently I was passing very well. I got yelled at. Anyway, so yeah, just basically avoid the bathrooms at all possible in the airports. If you can hold it until you can get on the plane, wait until you get on the plane to go to the bathroom, because those are single stalls. They're all gendered stalls on the plane, and that's going to be your best bet for that. Also, right before the plane lands, try to use the bathroom when you're on the plane. Then when you land at your destination, you don't have to think about, ooh, should I use the bathroom here at the airport? Because sometimes it takes another 2-hour car ride before you can get to where you're actually going, wherever you land. So go at home, go on a plane, wait until you get to wherever you're actually going. Next thing is, you're going to have to use your legal name, and some flights even or some airline companies even want you to use different gender, your actual gender, like what is on your thing as you're doing that, because you need to put your birth date, your home address, all that other good stuff. And if you haven't changed your gender marker yet, unfortunately, it's going to say female on it if you're FTM. But yeah, if you haven't changed your gender marker yet, unfortunately, that's just something you're going to have to deal with, putting F on there, or M, or the entire thing. It won't show up on the actual ticket, but still you have to put that information down for the airline's information in case anything does end up happening. And that's just something we'll have to unfortunately deal with. Same thing with our actual birth names. If you have yet to change it on your birth certificate, social security card, basic legal name change, you can't put your new name on there, because again, it's whatever's matching with Social Security and all that good FSA stuff we have to deal with. Tips for dealing with that: try to take it in strides and don't let it bother you. Try to shrug it off, because unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Another issue I have had several times is going through security. Because of the binder style I typically wore, which is, it had a bunch of clasps down the front, and that was to help with any heart arrhythmia issues I had, also asthma attacks where I needed to get out of my binder quickly. It had quite a lot of metal on it. I've set off the metal detector once, and because I set off the metal detector, they needed to pat me down. I wasn't wearing a belt, but I couldn't get my binder off to go through security. I then had to be patted down by female TSA agents, which is very upsetting because you're already being misgendered. You're being put with the female TSA agents, so you already know that it's just crap on top of crap. And then on top of that, they had to do this like sniffer thing, and that sniffer thing ended up that I had traces of explosives on me, which is some lotions and some soaps. So be careful with that as well. I don't know which soaps it is. I can't help you out there. But because of the sniffer came back positive for explosives, I had to then strip down to my base layers, which was my boxer briefs and my binder, and they then had to do another pat down, but it was more. It was significantly more invasive because they had to go around like the rim of my underwear and like reaching their fingers into my binder, and it was awful. It really sucked. There was a separate time that I had to go through the 3D scanner thing, and I just liked the idea of that when that first came out, being that they can see down to your skin and exactly, very contouring, what everything looks like. Therefore, I really didn't want to go through it because then they could see that I had female genitals, and I was very unhappy with that. But anyway, having to go through there, this time I wasn't wearing my other binder, I was wearing a tri-top. And I thought I was fine. And as I got through, one of the guys that was on the computer commented to his friend, and it was an inappropriate comment, and I was upset about that because I could hear it, and they're not very sensitive. Yeah. So a couple tips going through security is don't pack or wear an STP, because if you're going through the scanner, they're going to see it, they might question you, and it might just bring up a lot more issues. If you can deal with wearing a sports bra, wear that. Sports bras don't have metal in it. If you really can't deal with wearing a sports bra while traveling, because you're just that dysphoric, etc., try wearing a tri-top or a binder that has absolutely no metal in it. Don't take misgendering personal, because you will be misgendered, and they're going to look at your ID, which is going to have if you haven't changed the markers yet, it's going to have the wrong marker on there, and they're going to see that it says F on there instead of M, and they're going to call you miss. You're going to have to be patient, because they're not purposely trying to hurt you. They don't wake up every day and say, hey, I'm going to be transphobic. They're overworked, they're tired, they're on their feet a lot, they have to deal with lots of stress in every direction, and everyone ends up starting to blend together, and they just kind of stop caring about how to be super sensitive to every single person. Unfortunately, that's just what happens. Besides those couple things, other ways I get through just the stress of an airport is having headphones in the entire time. And just ignoring everyone, because people will bump you, people will stare at you sometimes, and it's just this microcosm of every single culture and every single type of person ever. And with everywhere else I run into people in both Seattle and Chicago, no one says a thing about my gender. Kids are really sensitive, they don't stare at you or anything, but in an airport, all bets are off. You just get stared at and talked at. And that's just what happens. So yeah, headphones, ignore people. I make sure I pay attention to the time, because 30 minutes before your flight, you board. So I make sure I'm paying attention to the monitors, and that's that. I hope these tips will help, at least getting things rolling for you for when you do travel. Hopefully I haven't put you off air travel, but it is just another one of the things we need to deal with. Alright, thanks guys.